This is Sissy. Sissy, I don't really know how to say her name. Okay. She is a brand new client, new customer. Have no idea how this dog will react to anything I do. So it'll be very interesting to see how the day goes. But she's very sweet so far, has given me lots of kisses and cuddles. And right now I'm doing ear plucking. As I say in most videos, when I do ear plucking, I'm only plucking the dead hair that easily comes out very quickly. I'm not plucking to clean out the ear entirely. It's just basically any long-standing ear hair that just needs to come out very quickly. Reason being is because there's a debate in the grooming community about plucking ears. You know, some people say, oh, it's really good for them because you know, it helps prevent yeast infections. It gets, you know, it allows medicine to go in there better. It allows the ear to breathe. Other people debate that, oh, well, when you do it, you create micro tears in the ear, so if there's bacteria, it can cause ear infections and issues. So I've tried to find the happy medium, and what I do at this point is I just pluck the dead ear hair, I guess is the way to put it. I put the ear powder in, and I pull, and whatever comes out easily. I'm not sitting there and cleaning out the whole ear, just whatever comes out easily, I pull out so that it doesn't causes the dog minimal discomfort, and yeah. Okay, so we're going to do the back. We already did her nails. I did the nails off camera. Not for any particular reason. I just was debating whether or not I was going to do her on a live today, but she's so sweet. I was like, I got to get her on live. So, Hi, yeah. You're just sweetums. Okay, we're going to turn you this way a little bit, okay? All right. I am going to go ahead and do the frothing method on her. I'll grab the camera and bring it over here so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Pardon? Ah! Sorry, guys. Sorry, y'all are on a roller coaster. Okay, so frothing. What am I doing? So frothing is where you put just a little bit of water and shampoo. Very little, you see. Well, there's almost nothing in there. I don't have exact measurements because, you know, I don't have exact measurements. That's why. Then you take a mixer and you froth it to the point where it's frothy like, you know, milk. And the point of this is because it creates micro bubbles that apparently can get deeper into the pores and skin. And I've been doing it for a while. I've always kind of come back and forth to it. I really like it. Not every groomer feels the same. What are you doing? What are you doing? And that was from that small little mixture. So this is the froth. And it supposedly saves on shampoo and stuff. I haven't really tested that theory. I don't pay attention enough to give you a yes or no that it saves on shampoo. But it smells real nice. Like, I think it releases the aroma of the shampoo really nice. So, and then what you do is you take the froth mixture and you pour it directly onto the dog. You don't actually get the dog wet. I don't know the reason behind it, but that's the way I was taught. So. around. Here we go. Oh no! Oh, oh the horror! Oh the horror! And this I'm using Best Shot Ultra Dirty Dog Wash. It just smells really nice and clean. Helps gets a lot of the dirt off. I've always really liked it. Okay. See if I can find my face shampoo. Oh, there it is. Finally, bought some face shampoo. After like a week and a half of not having it. But I have it now. It's just where my Amazon put it. Ugh. For those of you who don't know, I have an employee named Jenny. And she's a freaking Amazon. Like, she's like 6 feet tall. And I'm 5 foot tall. So I call her an Amazon. So this is facial shampoo. Obviously, you don't aim to get it in the dog's eye, but she's got some staining we're going to try to get out. But, you know, if you do get it in the dog's eye, simply be kind enough to rinse it out. All right, ready? Here we go. So I'm going to rinse out her eyes. She's not going to like it, but it needs to be done so that the soap doesn't stay in her eye. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There we go. It's done. It's done. I'm so sorry. I know. Ah! I wasn't ready. Check her animal lamp a little. So if I understood Mom correctly, she apparently has been trying to find a groomer she likes for like 2 years. And she has yet to find one that she like really wants to stick with. So we're going to try to be the anomaly today and get her with us. Get her happy with our service and give her, because I love this dog and I need this dog in my life now. I got a towel, I'll be right back. You're okay, baby. I keep my towels separated in the front of the cabin because when I do de-sheds and stuff, it goes all over the cabin. And so keeping it separate allows me to not have to worry about fur getting all over those towels. Oh, all right. Move this back over here. There we go. Okay, baby. I'm gonna need to fix that in a second, but that's okay. Let's get you on here. Oh. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of conditioning spray. This is also Best Shot Finishing Conditioning Spray. I use it on almost every dog. Oh, it's okay. And then use some Tropical Clean, Smell Good. And I like to do perfumes before the drying and after the drying process because I just feel like it helps get into their pores a little bit deeper. That's a personal preference. There's no science behind that. I just say that it works. Because I say that it works, guys. Okay, I'm going to put on hearing protection so that we can dry her. Again, keep in mind, I've never done this dog before, so I have no idea how she's going to react to certain things. So we shall see. I'm going to put the happy hoodie on her, keep her happy. There we go. And this is a happy hoodie, so basically what it does is it wraps the dog's head, kind of keeps them comforted like somebody's hugging them, as well as mutes any loud noises. So when the dryer comes on, which is very loud, it's not going to terrify her nearly as much as it normally does. Ready? such a pretty girl. You are. Yeah, I'm so pretty, Miss Stella. I'm so pretty. Yes. Just do a little quick brush out, and then we're gonna clip you. It's okay. You are a little wiggly butt, aren't you? Yes, you are. That's okay. You don't bother me none. Mwah, you're so sweet. Because you're so sweet. She's like a singer. How funny. Go. Sing for me. Oh, nice and brushed out tail. Yeah, whoever did your head and ear last. It's not the way I would have done it. But she also very well, it looks like she may have had a mat, I'm guessing, like right here. You see how it's just, it's a very blunt cut. So we'll see. Hold on. Let's see what the other ear looks like. She had to have had a mat or something in her other ear because this ear doesn't have nearly that blunt cut to it, so. For this teddy bear head, I'm gonna do what I can, but the way I think it was taken down with the guard comb, I really can't say what happened at this pup's last appointment. The hair's just, it's laying really weird. I don't know if that's just the way that the hair grew or what, but it's laying really weird. So I'm going to do what I can to make that into a teddy bear head, like the top of it, but I don't think it's going to be exactly what Mom wants at this point. We're going to get as close as possible, but let's see, baby. Stand up. Stand up. There we go. Oh, life is so difficult. Okay. You're all set. Alright. Yeah, I was, like, there's this, I mean, you can kind of see it here, like, there's a little bit of a weird cockatoo thing going on there. We'll find out. We'll figure it out. I ain't gonna complain. Ooh. I'll just charge my phone. So if not, this live video will drain the battery to the bits. Alright. taking a 40 blade to her paw pads with the clipper back. I'm not going deep into her paw pads. I'm just basically grazing them in every which direction. If you're a new groomer, if never groomed before or whatever, and you're just like trying to pick up on videos, I would say start with the 10 blade on the paw pads. If you try to go straight to a 40 blade, you may screw that up heavily. A 40 blade is much shorter than a 10 blade. It's the same blade that a lot of veterinarians will use when they are about to do surgery and they shave the area. That's the blade they'll normally use. That or a 50, I believe. Okay. Now I'm using my Andis Pulse VR for the clippers just to take her genitals area and her tummy a little bit short. Got to be careful with these tuck-up areas because if you cut them, they do have a hard time healing. I don't love taking the clipper back to the genital areas because it does have a tendency to be very strong and just kind of suck in whatever's in its area. And we don't need that on the genitals. And every time, you should be disinfecting your blades between every single dog, obviously. But every time I do a sanitary, the first thing I do afterwards is I disinfect the blades. Okay, so we're going to see what we can do for Mom. Mom wants about half off. Let's see if we can get that. I'm going to use my wide domes. They're about 30% bigger than a regular blade, and it's just basically for the ease of getting this done a little faster. Sorry, I'm vacuuming at the same time. Alright, let's see. I'm going to do it in reverse. I'm going to switch to my smaller dark tones because I think this is going to end up looking a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, but I haven't decided if I'm going to bump it down one more. This is the great experiment of grooming, huh? Trying to figure out what Mom and Dad want and delivering it. We'll do this and then see if it doesn't like the length. You can always come back in and redo it. It's much better to stay too long than to go too short. stay with this one so you can see if this is what Mom's expecting. Flipper backs can be a little bit tricky because you have to really go against or with the grain in the exact form that the grain is. Because if you don't, it can be really, like normally if you accidentally go straight across or against, like let's say you're trying to do against the grain but you go straight across, it usually leaves like a blunt cut instead of like some sort of angle, like the angle of the fur. It'll leave a little bit of a blunt cut. With the clipper bag, it leaves a very blunt cut and it's much harder to fix. Good, Mama. Now I'm going to take a 3/8 with the grain instead of reverse like I was, and it's going to just basically smooth out any leftovers, as well as I'm going to take it down the leg. Okay, come on, let me see it. Really. You like to move around and struggle. Yes, you do. Okay. I'm just gonna slowly get it. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Done. We're going to rebrush her out. We're going to do some teddy bear feet. There we go. Smooth her out. Oh my goodness, you're such a sweet one. There we go. What are you doing? I need this back leg. And guys, I know it can look like I'm throwing her around by grabbing her legs and I'm just like, meh. I promise you I'm not. I've been doing this for about 10 years. And I'm actually being quite gentle, and I'm actually being sensitive to make sure that it doesn't cause her any injury or any discomfort. But she does like to move around a lot. So when she puts in that tension, that opposing tension, when I'm trying to move her one way and she's opposing it and she's moving the other, it can look a little bit firm. But I promise you, she's fine. She's comfortable. Hold on. So how to get your tuck up a little bit here. Beautiful. Okay, same thing with your front leg. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Just getting some scrabbles from her armpits. Madam. No ma'am. Hey. No ma'am. You're not doing that. You're getting brushed, whether you like it or not. It's happening. Thank you. Okay, almost done. Stand up, let me see. Sorry, that's my husband texting me. So I'm holding her leg relatively firmly, and that's because I've got a sharp pair of scissors, and if she pulls too much or whatever, I don't want to accidentally slice the wrong thing. I just want to slice the fur. She is a puller. She does like to pull. A little bit here, a little bit here. Got it, Mama. Okay. Alright. Take the thinning shears and the thinning shear a little bit at her. Do your tail. We're going to do your tail now. You're going to have to give it to me for a little bit, okay? Sorry. Good. Good, Mama. Give me that booty. Give me the booty. Girlfriend, give me the booty. Just let me have it. I'm going to just kind of actually leave the tail. Some of it needs to grow back a little, so. And any leftover hairs. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to do her face. And her face I'm going to hand scissor. Actually, let me scissor up this. Her face I'm going to hand scissor. And I'm going to try to blend it the way she wants it blended. I know generally what she's wanting, but what she's wanting, there's not necessarily enough hair to do, so we're going to kind of mess around and see what we can do about it. Also going to soften this up here. trick I learned. Get a scrunchie, put the ears up. Do it with a scrunchie, not with a hair tie, because hair ties actually can start cutting off circulation. Scrunchies are a little bit softer. Makes it a little bit easier. It's far more gentle on the fur. So. Now, the common mistake I see being made when people do teddy bear heads like this is that they don't tousle the fur a little bit. Like, you want to mess up the fur. You don't want it laying perfectly straight exactly how you want it, because when the dog shakes its head, it's not gonna look like that anymore. So you kind of actually want to mess it up on purpose to give an idea of what hairs are going to be sticking out when the dog shakes its head. So you can scissor accordingly. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking this and I'm brushing a little upwards just to kind of see, okay, when she shakes her head, what's going to end up moving out of place. I'm using thinning shears right now mainly. Usually I would try to take my curves or even my straights and my chunkers to really get most of this fur off first and then neaten it up with my thinning shears. But I'm actually just going to use my thinning shears only because her teddy bear head from the previous groomer is a little bit different from mine, and so I'm just basically, I'm trying to sculpt it into my normal teddy bear head, and the other scissors are going to be a little bit too blunt of a cut. They're going to take off too much. So that's why I'm kind of just going with my thinning shears, which is going to make me go a little slower. But that in front of her eyes. You see her eyes are really bushy. Ooh, dropping my stuff. Okay, so we're going to take all that out. I'm doing it with my face, my little face scissors first. These are $9 at a CVS, or I think I even saw them at PetSmart and Petco recently. I bought the human face shears because they just allow for a little bit more precision, and I'm not sitting here trying to stop the end of the scissors from going into an eyeball. Stop. Girl. Okay, stop. And this is where our job can get really frustrating. She's not frustrating me by any means, but from a groomer's perspective, this is where our job can get frustrating, because a dog moving around their eyes is like, it's just the worst thing to deal with. Because you have a sharp object, they move the wrong way, you poke the eye out, you slice up a nose. Anything that you accidentally cut on the face, no matter how minor the cut is, bleeds like crazy. So what I'm doing is I'm holding her very taut here. Now she's not choking. This is very taut, but I've got my 2 fingers under her chin, and I'm basically just kind of pulling her towards me, keeping it very tight, so that way she can't move her head nearly as much or move back and forth too much. So that's why it looks like I'm choking her, but she's fine, and obviously she's not coughing, she's not having any breathing issues. This is a safety measure to make sure she doesn't move nearly as much as she's trying to, so that I can do around her eyes and make sure that I don't injure her or cut off hair that I didn't want to cut off. I'm using my thinning shears again at this point. I know some groomers will take clippers and they'll shave around this eye. They'll shave the bridge of the nose. I'm not a huge fan of that look. I do like more of the scissored look. Stop it. Stop. So I tend to thinning shear and trim. Good girl. Good girl. Ah, beautiful. Look at those eyes. Look at those beautiful eyes you got. They're so cute. And that's how we catch Rona. There's so many groomers. And even pet parents always get so tripped out that I will kiss the dog. I'm like, but they're so cute. That's hair in your eye. Let's get that out. She's got a little hair in her eye. There we go. Okay, almost done, baby. We're almost there. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Okay, so now I'm going to take those same face shears, little face trimmers, and I'm going to trim really close around her mouth. Oop, that's okay. You can do that. I didn't need the scrunchie in anymore anyway. And the reason I'm going to take the thinners, like a little face shears around her mouth, is Mom wants the mouth really, 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 really short. And I personally, I know some groomers can just take a 40 and go. I am not one of those groomers. So I'm doing what I am comfortable with, and that's what grooming is. It's finding out what you are and aren't comfortable with. Hey, stop. There we go. And this is where people are like, oh my god, you play with dogs all day. No, this is like a terrifying aspect of my job. You know, if I slice the wrong way, I'm going to slice a tongue open, or even if I nick the tongue a little bit, it's going to be a situation where it bleeds like freaking crazy because it's all around the head, and the head has a lot of blood circulation to it and a lot of vessels in it. So it is terrifying. And people are like, oh my god, it's so easy. You make it look so easy. And I'm like, no, 10 years of this is making it look so easy. But it's actually, this is not. This is not easy by any means. I had a friend one time ride along with me. She wanted to see what I did. And she saw me scissoring a face on a dog that struggled. And she was like, I'm already stressed out for you. I can't imagine doing this job. And I'm like, oh no! It's not an easy job. And that's why, I mean, like, for example, it's so funny because I get a lot of pet owners that are like, well, can you just trim around the face? And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a full haircut price, though. And they're like, oh my god, but why? It's just around the face. And I'm like, because you honestly don't understand how stressful and how much work actually is to go in trimming the face. I can trim a body in 10-15 minutes. It takes me just as long to do a head or a face. Now, does that say more about my skill than the dog? I don't really know, but You know, either way, it takes me a while. So yeah, I'm gonna charge full haircut prices for that because, you know, it's basically, I have to take out a pair of scissors and do a full haircut on your dog's face, and then it's a full haircut at that point. I don't care if I'm not taking any length off the body. Stop. Hey, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Stop it. Stop it. She's really liking this voice for some reason, so I'm just gonna keep using it because it's working in my favor. Stop it. Stop it. I think that's about as close as Mom wanted it. Sorry, I'm having the plumber come over to my house, so... Okay, cool. I just wanted to be sure that that wasn't the plumber. Okay. So I think... Now what I'm going to do is take my comb, brush it. She's got this, like I said, she's got this cockatoo thing going on in the back of her head. Like, I don't know what to do with that. So we're just going to blend it as much as possible and set the expectation with Mom that it's got to grow out. I can't do a whole lot more with that. If I try to trim it, it's going to grow back out in that cockatoo fashion. So, yeah, we're going to do the best that we can. But anyways, I'm going to squeeze the ears. I'm going to hold the ears underneath her chin. And basically anything that's outside of the general circle that creates on her face, I'm going to go ahead and trim up. Scissor and make pretty. Okay. And here we go. Hold on. I gotta... Oh, it's so good, girl. It's so good, girl. And I don't know what the visor, and guys, don't take this as me talking mess about the other groomer. The other groomer has their style. I have a different style, and I will constantly question, but I'm not at any point like, oh my god, why would they do that? Unless the cut is obviously just like, why? But no, I mean, it's just, the other groomer had a different style, and so that's why I'm just like, I'm gonna do what I can to reach my style, but, you know, I would have done things a little bit differently, and I require some more hair in more places to do things a certain way, so, but we each have our own styles, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna blend. The expectation with Mom that this area's just got to grow out. I cannot do the teddy bear faces I love, and that I think she went through my photos and she fell in love with how I did them, but I can't achieve that exact look on this dog yet because of the way that it was cut previously. So, and it's just, again, it's because I leave more hair in certain places. I preference to do things a certain way. It has nothing to do with that. I'm not saying the other groomer was bad or anything like that. It's just, it's a different look. And it is what it is. Okay. Mom likes her ears long, so at this point, I'm just going to straighten them out a little. See? This one, I'm going to take my chunks of score because it'll take off more hair a little more quickly. That's not my chunks. Hold on. I'm just going to neaten this up a little. Okay, same thing other side. Neaten it up. There's a little bit of a discrepancy in how the ears were trimmed. It looks like one ear, now granted the back of the ear, it looks like they had a mat that they had to trim out, but the front of the ear is where I'm getting a little bit of that weird discrepancy. It seems like they wanted to curve it, and they had a hard time doing it with both ears, which curving, making that circular look on both ears is really difficult. It's not It's not just like, oh, just scissor, because like the hair, you know, they shake their head and the hair is going to fall a little bit differently. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a discrepancy, but at this point, I'm going to just let her ears grow out to whatever they need to be. And I said I wasn't going to take too much off the back, but I have to do some blending here. So that's a little. Okay, and then I'm going to go just around the chin a little bit more, because Mom likes, I said, Mom likes a nice, good, tight cut. Another trick of the trade, please go into the dog's mouth and pull out that fur. That's part of the reason sometimes why they have really bad breath, is because that fur is just constantly soaked and gross and nasty. And there we go. There we have it. Beautiful. It's a pretty good thing. You are. Yes, you are. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.